be making our form for this burger shop. So we need to go over to Gemini. So just type gemini.google.com. And our form is going to be storing obviously the name of the customer. We also need to have the customer, select what they've chosen. Like we can do that ourselves. We can make this appear on the text box because we do have to put in user selection, and then the total amount of burgers they would like, and then we have like a button that says confirm, and when they confirm then it will show the receipt of how much it costs. So one thing though I did pay attention to was we have the prices for our burgers here. Okay, so these are all in euros, and what we want to do is such that once they select the particular, or once the form knows what they've selected, then it's going to also automatically put in the price as well. That's really important. So that's what we're going to be doing. So to get started, let's work on the form. So we're going to say create. Let's prompt this. Create a viral, very catchy order form for a burger shop app, ordering system app called, okay, so the name of my burger shop is called the Burger Hus. Okay, called the Burger Hus, called, so I kind of want to keep that name consistent. And this form should have text label, should have the following text labels. And what are they? We need name. So we need the name of the customer. We need maybe credit card number to pay. And then we need like obviously the burger type that they've selected. So the burger type, the burger amount, the amount, maybe just the amount, and then the price, the final, we can say total price, and that's going to be for me in euros, and that's it. And then you'd say, I think that's all we need. So we need the amount, the price, and that's all. And then we'd be like, and do not include any text box in front, any text boxes in front of the labels, right? The text labels above. So because we want to leave the space empty in front of the text labels above, that will be in the burger ordering form. Yeah, so that kind of a thing, and then just check your spelling and all that stuff. And what else do we need? So maybe you can say we don't need a button because we're going to put that with Thinkter. So you're going to learn a little bit about the Thinkter library. What else do we need? I think for now, this is all we need for now. You can just add another command saying make this order form look very cool and attractive, right? And that's it. I think that's all we need. So once this is all done, yeah, very cool and attractive. That's it. Once you've put this in, oh, and then make the size of this order form, make the resolution size, because we need it to fit like all the other pictures. So make the resolution size of this order form to be 1376 by 768 pixels. Okay, this is really important. And that's all. That's all you need. Order form, make the resolution tonight to be, yeah, I'm not sure why it's giving me an error there. I'm just going to dismiss. And that's it. And once you're done, you can now come back, make sure you're on flash and make sure your thinking level. I like to go for extended for me particularly. So if you go for standard, it's okay. But I go for extended, and I think that's all we need. Now you just have to send it. And then you've got to wait for your order form. You can also go to Google Flow and you can try and see what kind of pictures you can get on Google Flow. Because Google Flow, if you have access to it, it does give nice variations of the type of pictures that you can have as well. So for me, I'm on Google Flow right now. I just entered. You can sign in with a simple Gmail account. And I'm still waiting for my, oh, it gave me a code for whatever reason. So let's see what was our prompt. I said, oh, right, we made a little mistake. It's supposed to be create a viral, very catchy order form, very catchy picture. We're supposed to change that. So if you made a mistake, like if you see this happening, code and stuff, you don't need all this. Just come here to the edit prompt, and instead of saying order, we forgot to say picture. So make the resolution size of this picture. First of all, change here to be picture for the order form like that. And then at the top here, create a very catchy order form, a very catchy picture for an order form. And now update your query and send it again one more time. So just look at my prompt and just make the change, okay? Look at my prompt and then make the change so that you actually get a picture. And now once you've done this prompt, copy the prompt here and you can come over to Google Flow and paste your prompt right here. And if you don't see this option for agent and you see something on the right side, just click X on the right, the box that appears like on the right, and then come here and click on agent and you'll see this option pop up. This is what you need to see. Now, once you see that pop up, you're good to go. Make sure you select Nano Banana image, 16 to 9, a horizontal, two variations, like two type of photo examples you're going to see. And of course, make sure you're on Nano Banana Pro, okay? Not 2, but Pro. Once you're done, you can send it so you can see what kind of images you're going to be getting. And you can see mine now, how my picture looks like, which is pretty cool, actually. I didn't need to have like the order. I already said we don't need an order now. We can do the button ourselves. So what I'll do is I like this picture, but I'll be like, remove all right, the text boxes in front of the labels. And what are the labels that we're talking about? That's the name, the card number, okay, the burger type, all that stuff, the burger type, the amount, and of course the total price. So the all those boxes are gonna go. And then another thing is also remove the oh, don't forget to say in the picture above. I forgot to type that in so that it knows where you want it to remove. And also remove the order now, put it in quotation marks, order now, and submit order buttons. Okay, so put buttons here, buttons in, oh, buttons in the picture above. Okay, so these two things, and then just hit send. So you want to get rid of all that stuff and you just want to keep the labels, and that's it. And I think this picture is really nice. So we can actually use this picture, but we don't want these text boxes and we don't want this button because we can put that ourselves. So let's see what Gemini does. In the meantime, you can come over here. This is nice. I like this one specifically. I think this one's really good too. This is a good one. Very, very good indeed. And it has like everything, and we can put like a text box on top of all this stuff, and we can put our buttons. So you just got to choose the picture that you think you like. So I'm going to go back to Gemini. Gemini has just rearranged everything for me. I think I'm going to go with this picture. Overall, I like this one. It has some nice character. So if you like any picture, whether on Gemini or Google Flow, just click download and it will download the photo for you to your computer. So pay attention. You're going to find the picture on your computer like it just did for me right here. Okay, so you can see it's right here. And if you check the size is also exactly what I wanted. Now come back to your Replit, click your downloads option, the download arrow in your browser, but make sure you expand your file tree on the right side and click file tree first and click on your main.py first, and then go top to where you have the arrow and then just drag your picture that you just got from Gemini and drop it in the side here. Okay, make sure you drag and drop it not inside a folder, but you drag and drop it here next to that main. Now my picture is right here already, as you can see, and I'm going to rename it and call it the form. Okay, so I'm going to call it the order form. And because we're going to be using the Thinkter library, it doesn't really matter if it's a GIF or a PNG. It's okay if it's a PNG, so it works with the Thinkter. But with Turtle, you have to make it into a GIF. So when you rename it, hit Enter key. And now you've seen that it changed the name, still the same picture, still showing up, but the name's now order form. Now we're good to go in terms of the coding. So let's get back to the coding now. Okay, so in the coding, we're going to come back and create another function. And this function is going to be called the order form. So before we go into a new function, though, we've got to go back and focus on one thing. Remember that we are stopping, if you go back to the user confirmation function, we pretty much stopped at the part where we confirmed and tell them you've chosen this amount of whatever they've chosen. Now, what I want you to do is go back there to that confirm amount, and I want you to change the screen name, the screen number. Okay, so because we have a screen number right now, so we do have a screen number, and we're going to change the screen number. So what we'll do is we'll come back outside, and I'm sort of thinking about this because we have to go create like another function where we will have a different screen. So here, just write screen number. We need to make sure the computer knows this is a different screen. And you notice that I'm putting screen number as 3, right? So that's exactly what it is because we're going to another screen, which is the order form. Now, make sure you come to this user confirmation where you global the user selection. Make sure you global the screen number as well. That's really important. So global user selection, global screen number. And then I want you to go back to calling a new function, and this is going to be called the order form function. You will get a red line, which is okay. That's because the function does not exist. But come back to the top of your function that you called screen clickable and hit enter. And there we will create a function called the order form. And in that function, we will global, again, very importantly, what do we need to global? The user selection. We definitely need that. And we need to global the screen number as well. So here we will start with if screen number equals to 3, right? Because then we did say that the screen number is now 3. Then we come down here, and this is where we can now put our picture, okay? And what is our picture going to be? The picture that we just designed, which is called the order form, this picture. So to put that picture, we have to switch to Thinkter library. And so to do that, remember that our very, very first screen that we started to show here was called screen 1. No, was it screen 1? No, it wasn't the first one. This was the menu. What's the very, very first one? The very, very first one, oh, I think, yeah, it was called screen 1. That's true. It was called screen 1. So that means here will be this. Okay, so you're going to do this. You're going to say root. We want to now switch between Turtle to Thinkter. So we're going to say screen 1, because that was our first one, dot get canvas. Okay, and then you got to say dot winfo. Okay, and then underscore top level. So this is really important to write down, very, very important. And before you even write this down, make sure you go and at the top, or even after you write it, after you have import turtle, you have to hit enter and you have to do import Thinkter as TK. Okay, Thinkter means the Thinkter library. We're going to need the Thinkter library. Okay, this is really important. So screen 1 equals root equals to screen 1 dot get canvas dot winfo underscore top level. I'm just trying to see if we missed anything because I just want to make sure that we don't have anything that's not done properly. So I'm just trying to check. Yes, I think that's pretty much it. So we want to switch between, we want to insert a Thinkter. I'm just putting a comment. You can go to the line just before. A Thinkter window here, right? And that's exactly what we've done. So we could do it two ways. We could do this, and then we have to try and see first of all. But really, what's important is we want to get rid of the reason why we're putting this is because we're trying to switch from the turtle screen to this screen, okay? To this screen, which is the one that we did here. So we're going to test it and see, obviously. So if you do that, remember, import Tinctor is the library that we're going to use to put the form so we can put the text boxes and all that stuff. Don't forget to import Tinctor as TK. That's just how we import it, just like we imported Turtle. And then, of course, here, don't forget to come here, and you don't have to put the comments. You can delete that, but just make sure that you have this function called order form looking like this. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start creating another screen. So I'm going to call this one screen number 2, or you can call it screen 3, whichever one you want. And then we're going to say tk.top-level root. Okay. Let me just try something real quick here. I just want to see if we can do root. Give me a moment. Don't do anything. I'm trying something real quick. I'll try it and see. So if we do screen1.clear, and then I kind of have my code is like all white is what I'm concerned about, but I think it's not from the code. It's actually just from the replit. So it's okay in that sense. I thought there was something wrong with the code, but it's okay. Yeah, just keep writing what I'm going to take it back to what I was writing. So at this point, this is what you should have. I'm just going to do a quick refresh of my program just so that I can reload this program. But we're gonna now put the picture that we just did on Replit on Gemini, sorry, and we're gonna test it to see. Okay, so it was just my connection, so it's actually back. I was just trying to see if it's gonna be supposed to be like yellow and stuff, so it's working fine. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna come back here and we're gonna start putting, you can put a title for this screen and I'll put order form. And then of course the size of the screen. So screen 3, the size. The size is not like in Turtle where you say dot setup, right? If you remember how we do size in Turtle, we say setup, width, and height. For Thinkter, it's different. You have to say just geometry. It's the name of your screen dot geometry. And here you got to put the size, so 1376 by 768. That's the size for this picture to show properly. Now, once you've done that, the next thing we need is to say that we don't want our screen to be resizable. So we don't want anybody to be able to resize the screen. So we're going to put false for resizing it. No one should resize the screen. Leave it the way it is. The next thing we want to do is we want to put in our what do you call it? We want to set up the what do you call this? The image, and to do that, we have to use an image create a variable. I'm going to call it image1, and then we're going to say image.open, and we're going to be opening our picture, which in our case is called order form. Make sure you write the same way you wrote it here. So my picture is order form.png. Okay. And then, of course, the next thing you want to do is you don't have to resize it, but you need a label. And I'm going to do a label. And so the label, we need a label so we can be able to show this picture. So that's just how it is. So I'm creating a label and I'm calling it label1. And I'm going to say label equals tk.label. And I'm putting this on screen 3 because that's the screen that we just created. And I'm trying to show this image 1. So that's the picture that we have here. Okay. And then finally, to finish this off, I'm just going to go and pack my label like this. Just say label1.pack, meaning it's just going to adjust to the size of your screen. And then finally, I'm going to call my screen3.main loop, meaning that this is the most important statement here. If you don't have the statement, your whole code, like the screen does not even show. So it's really important to have screen3.main loop. Whatever your screen is called, .main loop should be the very last line when you're dealing with Tinctor, so it can actually show your Tinctor picture and anything else you have there. Okay, so at this point, we can actually test this and see how it works, okay? And remember, we called this, I think here, order form. So we can test this pretty well and see how everything is working so far. So we've got to go and we've got to test this out. I think at this point, yeah, I'm just thinking if there's anything else we're missing, and I don't think so. So I think we can only just test. Make sure you have this in your order form. And of course, your picture is there. And now let's go on to the console and let's do a quick test. So let's go to console. stop your console, clear past runs, and then come to workflow, start your application, go to your VNC, and then just, of course, start everything. So, okay. Now, okay. Let's say I pick on Smoky BBQ. I'll say okay. How many do you want? I'll say two of those, and I'll say okay. So once I say okay, I came back here, but nothing is showing. So there is a problem. First of all, it says image is not defined, so it does not recognize where I'm getting image from. So we can fix that, I guess. We can import that as well. So we've got to import image from the pill library. So right there, okay, so from pill import image, we probably need to, I think we probably need to do, there's two things we can do actually. Let me just see, because we can use another one called image icon, which I think might work because I'm importing from the pill library, but I'm getting an error on pill. So let's try it just before we do the other alternative. Come back to the top and type this here after import Thinkter. You need this image. That's why it doesn't recognize from the pill library. Okay, and then you can ask your AI to fix this, install for you this pill library. And that just works perfectly. But before we do that, let's try and see if it works first. Go to your console. Now that we've imported this image that we have, it shouldn't give us an error unless it needs us to import this one because we have a red line on it. So let's see if we can run it. If not, we need to fix this image. So we clear the past runs. Let's try again running it one more time. Okay, so it doesn't know what the pill is, so we need to tell the AI, click the purple thing, okay? You've got the purple thing here in the corner. Click that, so you open your AI and you say, fix this error and make sure my picture now shows, okay, according to my code. Make sure you type this in here so it installs for you this error. And what is the error? You can just copy it or type it out. So what I'll do is I'll copy everything here, or you can just type only this part, say fix the pill error, and that's all. So I'll paste everything and hit enter. So again, you can just say fix the pill error if you can't copy and paste. Just write pill, P-I-L, and then just wait for the agent to fix that because that's really what we need for us to actually get this to work. The computer, the compiler does not recognize where we're getting this pill from, so we need to install it. It's called the pill library, okay? So you have to wait for it to install, and then once it's installing, it's working on it right now. It says working. Once it's done, you can now test your app, your burger shop, and see if your picture is showing. And then, of course, if your picture is showing, then you're ready to start putting in your other things, your text boxes and your buttons and all the things that we need for the form. So let's wait and see. All right, it's still working to install the library for me. All right, still working. I think it's done. It's actually finished. So now let's move on to the next thing. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're going to start working on doing the first part, which is obviously running this. Let's run it and see if now everything is okay. So it's back to normal. When you know it's finished is when you see checkpoint. It means that the AI is finished, and you got to read what it says. It says it's successfully run. The program is successfully running, and the pill module is now resolved. So it was installed. So that means it's good. You can drag this to the side, and now you can test your program again. So let's click on OK. As usual, click anywhere in the background. Click OK, and I'm gonna click Smoky BBQ. How many do I like? I'll say 3, and then I'll click OK, and then it says you've chosen 3, and we've got the blank thing again. So the blank thing is because the size, there's a couple of things. So it says the image 1. It says that the resizing doesn't exist. Okay, so we've got to check a resize focus or size option. So what we can do is come back here. There are two things that we're going to be correcting. So either we will do this where we have to resize, because then I think that would work perfectly here. So where we say image open, because we're trying to open an image, we're going to do dot resize, okay? And we're going to add that line because that would just resize the picture to the right size. And there is one more thing that we missed, and that's going to be the photo image. So what I want is in here where we've got this written down. Let's just change this a little bit, okay? Make some changes. I want you to delete this. And instead, I want you to write image tk dot photo image, okay? And this is really important. And then here, put the image that you have, which obviously is image one, and then put it on the master. Master means where's that going to be on? So the master is going to be on screen 3 because that's the screen that we have here, obviously. And that's pretty much the only thing. And then, of course, the label, the label that we have, because we've got like the image. Okay, this is like one label. Then we've got like another one that is used to insert this background picture. So the first one is just to get it ready. And then the third one, we're going to have to put like a label. You can call this one label 2. Okay, just type what I have and put this image to show on the background. And so this is how you do it. And finally, let's pack. Be careful there. Let's pack our label, and that's all. So try it now with these changes. Look at my code very carefully and type these lines that also sets the image on the background, shows the image, and then positions it well on the screen. Okay, so now you come back to your console, stop what you have, clear your past runs, come to your workflow and start your application again, and come to your VNC. And then, of course, try it one more time. So click OK, click anywhere on the screen, and then click OK again, click any option. You've chosen Firehouse. How many would you like? I'm going to say 3. Okay. And perfect. That is so beautiful. So we've just got everything showing perfectly now. So this works. Now we are using Thinkter. So what we want to do is put our text boxes here because we want to have text boxes, obviously, right? So for us to have the text boxes, we've got to set them over here. So we can be able to set the name, allow them to type their name, card number, and then burger type. This would automatically be written down. And then, of course, we've got like the amount, how many things they want. And then we've got like how many of the burgers that they want, and then how the total price. So all of this stuff we need to put in the form. So what we're going to do is we're going to start putting in our things, what we need. So we need the entries, and we're going to be working on that right now. So there's two things that we can get to be done here. Let's go into doing the entries first, like the text entries, and then setting things like in terms of text, okay? So what we'll do, let's get back into our main. We'll now start putting in our text boxes here for the name and so on. So what we'll do is we'll come back here on the code right underneath the stuff. We're going to start in by inserting the first one, which is the name text box. Okay, and so we're going to do the text entry. So we can do it this way. So basically, let's call it name text box. That's a good name, I think. Name text box. And then that's going to be equal to tk.entry. And then we can do, there are many, many things that you can do with text entries. Like you can put in where you're going to put it on screen 3, which is obviously the screen. How wide do you want it to be? And I think, you know what, I'm going to put this on a separate place. Let's take this out. What is the style of the fonts that you want your text to be written in? There are many type of styles. There's Times New Roman, there's Comic Sans, so there's different ones. And then how big do you want your text to be? So I'm going to make it 15, a little bit bigger. And now the background color, do you want any background color for your text box? Particularly, I think I'll just go with white and then black. But if you want more color options, what you can do, and I'm going to take out this thing. If you want like a more like the background of color of your text box and you want the foreground, that means like the text color on that background, you can go over to the Coolors website. So I'm going to close this Google thingy. And if you go to Coolors, this is a particular website that I like to use. And if you click on start the generator, Okay, there's like so many options for colors in here that you can use. So let's say because of my burger shop, and we know burger, like there's green, there's red. So maybe I want to have like a box, my text box to be like maybe like medium jungle. I want this color. I'm going to write down the hexadecimal number. So that's 4AAD52. Okay, so let's say that's the background I want instead of white. So I'll put hashtag. You have to put a hashtag when you're copying these type of hexadecimal numbers. So 4AAD52. So 4AA D52. Okay. And then for my text color that's going to go on that background, I could do another color and I want to go for like a strawberry red. So I'll go like this one, F8333C. And so I'm going to write that again, hashtag F8. You don't have to put capitals. It's okay if you also don't put capitals. So F8, I think I made a mistake. It's not FE, it's F8333C. So no E in there, just the 8. So that's pretty much like how you can put colors in there. The next thing you want to do is to size, like place your box. And so where do you want to place it? Now, for me, I want to explain something to you is that the more you go to the right side, the more X is positive, and the more you go to the left side, the less X is positive. And if you go coming from up down, it becomes more positive as you go down on the Y and less positive as you go up. So if I want to put it here, I'm going to assume maybe this is like maybe around 200 something. I'll just put like 250 and just try it out. So I'll say 250. I think this is good. My X coordinate 250. My Y, I can keep it 200. You can always adjust it. How big do you want your text box to be? How wide? The bigger this number, the longer it is. So 200, let's keep it there and see how it looks like. And then of course, how tall and thick do you want your text box to be? The bigger this number is, the taller it is. So I'll just keep it as 30 for now. Okay, once we're done, we're going to go into the next text box. What is the next one we need? The card number. So we're going to create a card number, not phone text box, but this is now going to be the card number text box, right? I always like to put a comment. So card number text box equals to tk dot entry. And where are we putting this on screen 3? The same screen. The font, I'm going to keep the fonts the same. So it's Arial, same font. And then, of course, I'll put, oh, don't forget to close this. The size of the text, this is the same size. And then the BG color, you can pretty much just copy the same thing over here and here to keep it consistent. And then, of course, the placing of the card number. Where do you want to place it on the screen? So it has to be further down from the name text box. So the only thing I will adjust is just the Y, but the X can stay the same. It's the Y because it needs to come down. So here I'm gonna do text box equal dot place. And then of course I'll do something maybe like 250. Yeah, 250 means further down from 200. And then I'll keep the Y, the width and the height the same. What else do we need? So we've got that going for us. And then the next thing we need, of course, is the burger type, and that's something that we are going to make the computer know and write down automatically because it already knows what they've selected. So we need a text box for the burger type. So inserting the burger type text box. Okay, and so we're going to say burger. I'm just going to call this burger type because it will be way shorter for me to write. And then, of course, we do the tk.entry again. So don't forget that. And then, of course, open parentheses and then screen 3, comma, font equals, and then just basically same thing. I'm going to keep same like I wrote for all the other ones. Same size, same color. And then where we're going to place it, you notice that I'm giving a gap for every one of it by 50. This was 250. This was initially 200, right? And then 50 more pixels down, 250, and then 50 more pixels down, 300. But everything else is the same. So at this point, you can actually check and see how things are looking like because you have already 3 text boxes for the first 3 options that you've got here, remaining 2 more. So let's see how things are looking so far. So I'm going to click stop, clear my past run, come to my workflow, start my application, and then go to my VNC and then click OK and click anywhere on screen. And remember, click OK. I'll click the truffle OK. I want to do two truffle royales and then okay. And then now I've come back into here. So look at where all these text boxes are. So the colors are all good. You notice the colors are there, but everything is all out in place. It needs to come here. So what does that mean? I need to move them down, much further down, and much further to the right side. So much further down, meaning I could try something like 350. Much further to the right side, meaning I could try something like maybe 500. Okay, so I'll try for all of them. And I think I also need my text box to be a little bit longer. That's something that I want. So maybe like 300 and a little bit taller. So maybe like 40. Okay, so that's something I'm adjusting for all. And let's see how that looks. I wouldn't like to adjust it for all until I'm sure, but it's okay. We can do it like for all. So my x's is all going to be the same, all the same thing for the x. The only thing changing would be the y, if we could just get the y right. So I put my y at 350. Let's actually try 450. And I'll put it for this one. Let's go for 500 or maybe like 570. Let's do a gap of 70, 70. And then here, let's go for 640. So let's try it now and see how things are looking with these changes. So that's why I said you need to adjust them. So we come to console, stop it again, clear past runs. And then you got to keep doing this until you get it into the right place and it looks good. So I'm going to come here again, click on the space. And then, of course, okay, click anywhere else. Okay, I want three. Okay. And okay, things are looking a bit better now. So I know that I have to move a little bit more to the right. And then what else? And I know that I've got to well, I've got to move up because it's way down. So I need to move more to the right and then I need to move up. Okay. So there's a big gap between I forgot to make the difference. So I need to move more up. So that means I'll reduce the y, right? So let's try 350 and then we need to move way to the right side. So I'm going to try something like 650. Let's go with that and let's see the difference. So for all of them, 650. I also think the thickness and the tallness of the box is now okay. I feel like it's fine. So now let's do these little changes and let's see what happens. So this one's going to be 650. The X's are changing. And then this one's 350. And so let's give a gap of 50. So this would be 400 and this one's 450 between them. Because remember what I said, the further down, the more Y becomes positive because you're moving down. So let's run it again. Let's try one more time. Click OK. Click the screen back end and then come back here, click OK. Select anything, OK. Put the number 3, OK. And OK, I've selected that. Now I'm moving. Oh, that looks way better. It's getting there. So I think more spacing to the right a little bit. So let's try 700 will be perfect. So more to the right means X is more positive. And then, of course, we still need to move the box, right? The box, this one, needs to go further up. So that means less positive for the Y. And I feel like this one's almost there. The second one's almost there for this one if we bring it further down. But we need to move it way up. So let's try doing, instead of 350, let's try going for 150. And let's give a gap of maybe like 60. Let's go for 210. So a gap of 60, and here will be like 270. Okay, let's try that and see. So we'll go back to VNC, OL console, stop it again, clear past runs. So you kind of need, like I said, you just have to repeat doing this until you get the perfect size. And then we gotta like continue on with the remaining boxes. So let's do this. Let's click OK. And ooh, I think my screen's a little bit stuck, but yeah. Yeah, it's better now. So we'll click that. How many do you want? We'll say 2. Okay. And then we're going to switch over to, oh, that's way up again. So the spacing is good now, although it's too much space, but it's way up. We've got to bring it down. So let's try. From the first one, it needs to come down. So let's go for 250 here. And then let's go for 300, a difference of 50-50 again, okay? And then 350. And then for here, I feel like it's way to the right side. So let's try 670. I feel like it's going to be good. So 670, not too far away from the labels. 670, 670. Let's try that because we did 650 before. All right, so stop it again and clear past runs and again start your application. And of course, come back here, okay? Click your backspace and then of course you click OK again. Click any one, the usual stuff. How many would you like? I'm gonna put two. And let's see now. Okay, we're getting somewhere. So we need to bring this slightly down. I think this the second one is perfect. Do you see the second one is like in the right place of name? So we kind of need to take the second one's Y position 300 to be the first one because that's exactly where name needs to start. So 300 and maybe the gap between them, we can do like a 70 gap. So 300, then maybe we can do 370, slightly down, or 360. Let's try the 60 pixel gap down. And then let's do, for this one, we'll go 420, 60, 60, 60. Okay, so let's stop it again. So you really need to just keep trying until you get like these ones in order. Then the other ones are going to be pretty easy to like adjust them because you already know like the difference between the text boxes that works well. So I'm going to go Veggie Delight. Let's do two and okay. All right, let's see. Oh, that's almost perfect. Isn't that perfect? That is perfect, actually. So now we've got this looking perfect. Now we just need to put the amount and we need to put the total price. So what we'll do is we'll come back and we'll insert the text box for the amount. So inserting, now that we've got the text boxes settled, the amount text box. Okay, and then what we'll do is just do the same thing, really. Just copy paste again, the same thing here and here. But then when you come to the footing of the placing, so we'll put the same placing, x equals 670, because it works for all of them. But it's coming down with 60, 60, 60. So 60 pixels down from here, it means that y is going to be equal to 480. And the height will be the same, the width will be the same. And then, of course, we do the last text box, which is going to be for the total price, right? The total price in euros. And that needs to be further to the right side because if we put it here, it's going to come all the way to this side. So we need to do something like 700 or something like that. So we'll try 700 for not this one, inserting the total price text box, okay? Total price text box. Okay, so total price is there. So we just, again, the same thing like what we have above. But this time when we're putting up the place, the X coordinate needs to be a little bit further to the right. So let's try 700, 30 pixels more, and then needs to come down by 60. So plus 60 will give you 540, obviously. And I think that's good to go. So let's put our button. So finally, we need to put like a submit button. So insert a submit button. So how do we do that? So if you want a button, you gotta just do the same thing. So TK, the way you put it in Tinctor is called tk.button. It's on screen 3, and again, it's called submit. The size and the size of your button, I probably, for the text, I might need to increase it to 20 because I need it to be big. And of course, the color of the button and the foreground color, like the background color of the button and the text color. If you want to change that, you can always go back to Coolors or any website online to get the color right. Now, the last thing we'll do is to place the button. So the button needs to go like way in the center somewhere, so like around here. So I probably will place it maybe not too much to the right, but like at 450 or something. And then it needs to come down, so I'll do more than 60 difference. I'll do like an 80 difference, so I'll go like 620, like a little bit down. And the size and everything will stay the same. All right, at this point, you can check out and see how your whole form is looking like. So let's stop everything. Let's come to workflow. Let's run. Come back here to the VNC, click on OK. Don't forget to click on anywhere on the screen, okay? On the screen, don't forget that. And then of course, click OK here, and then I'll just choose any one of these. So I'll go for the firehouse. How many would you like? I'll probably go for like 2 and click OK. And then it says you've chosen two. Yes, that's exactly. Oh, perfect. Everything looks good. The button looks also good, but needs to move here. And this box needs to move forward and maybe a little bit shorter. So what I'll do is I'll move the button a little bit more. Oh, and by the way, the button, if you're wondering, is actually a button. So it's not a text box. It just looks like a text box, but it's a button. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll move the button more to the right side. So I'll probably go at 550. And then I also want to move this text box, the total price text box. That means this one, because it's way here. So I need to move it to the right and make it smaller. So I'll probably go with 720, and then I'll reduce the height to like maybe 250. So it's not too long, right? So 250. All right, so let's try it again and see if everything looks good. So clear past runs, clumb over here, start application. And remember, we're switching between two different libraries. Remember, this is starting with Turtle library in Python. Click anywhere on the screen. That's why things are clickable on screen. And then you say, okay, click any one of these selects and they work because it's using Turtle. And then when you say, okay, you put your amount and then you switch over from Turtle to Thinker. Once you say, okay, we've come here. So this is looking way better now. The button is perfect, so this just needs to go a little bit more further to the right side, and that's for the total price. So I'm gonna go with 740 or 735 probably. And then let's try it again one more time. Stop your clear your past runs, workflows, start application again, come to your VNC, okay, don't forget to click the OK, of course. That's why it's clickable. And then just choose any one you want. So this is like an ordering system where you have to order one burger at a time, okay? But in normal sense, you could choose more than one, which you could still do if you want. But this is just for the basic beginner kind of burger ordering system. So now we click OK, we switch over, and I think this looks perfect now. And you can type out your name and you can put in your credit card number, and we can even check that actually that works, or at least that it's a correct sort of looking valid credit card number. Here, you're not going to do anything about it because we could have made this a drop down where we have like options to choose from, but we're trying to make it such that the computer will like write on this text box and it will not be writable again. So it's going to write like it's going to make its state not editable. You can't edit the state of the text box. The amount will also be automatically generated and included. And here will be, no, the amount would be taken, sorry, from what they have entered as the amount they want. And then the total price will be automatically generated. All they'd have to do is click submit. There also should be an option where it should be cancel. I feel like we need a cancel button for sure, because cancel would basically let them go back to the and maybe I should put that button right here, would allow them to go back to the previous page if they wanted to like make any change or anything like that, because the person might not want to order anymore and want to cancel. So I think that's one thing that we definitely need to put a cancel button. And then we're going to make this such that the computer will recognize what they chose and it will automatically insert their selection, and of course will also have the amount inserted right here as well. And then that would calculate this automatically, and all they need to do is just click submit and just put their name and credit card number, and then they would be like a cancel, which takes them back to the menu page. So that's pretty much what we need to work on in terms of this.